Okay.
We're good. So, Mike, you had quite a day out there. Why don't you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, really good, typical Paris2Ancaster kind of experience. Start was good. They had a new start, so there was kind of a tightening pretty early on. So I don't know if some guys got caught out in that, and then so when we got onto the rail trail, it was a little bit rowdier than usual.
Okay.
But anyway, first corner, there's always kind of an acceleration, and then excuse me, after maybe 20 minutes, I found myself in a small little group, and we were working really well together.
The selection did happen pretty early this year.
Yeah, and I was with some guys who haven't done the race that much, so it was good that I was able to kind of motivate them to, you know, that we were going to stay away and that it was going to be okay and let's go hard. And so we were kind of working fairly well together, and I just kept pushing, and we stayed away. Yeah, and then like I was just telling my friends in there, we had a really interesting run-in that I've never had here on P-Day, but maybe about 40K in, we ran into a group of horses. Yeah, there was like 10 look like little Shetland ponies, like kind of fat little horses. No offense to the people who own the horses, I'm sure they're really nice temperament and stuff, but yeah, there was little chubby horses and they were coming towards us, so we kind of had an exchange, and told them that they are better off to turn around because there's a bunch of people barreling down. Like
2,000 people.
Yeah. So we convinced them eventually to turn around after a minute or so, and then they got going, and then I asked them to give it a bit of stick because they were only going like 35K an hour. And anyway, eventually we got the horses out of the way and we got rolling again. You
guys stayed together?
Yeah. Well, we were down to like 2 or 3, and then we ended up 4 or 5 again after the horses, but the main pack didn't quite catch us.
Okay.
We got onto the road and we were motivated to get going again, and then unfortunately I had a flat, so I couldn't help them anymore. So I just said farewell.
And that was about what, 2/3 of the way through the race?
Yeah, that was with about 20K left, maybe 15K left. So then I changed the wheel and got going again. Yeah.
And what do you think of the later start with the race
great.
Starting a little bit later in the day?
That was so great. I mean, we'll have to see how it goes here with the awards and stuff. See if people are able to stick around. But it was so nice to start at 9:45 because I know I stayed at a friend's house and we were able to have breakfast together and then get rolling, and you know, I'm sure most racers have families, and it's nice that they can maybe drop the kids off at swimming or whatever before they get here and then come to the event. So,
and the fact that it's later in the month as well, instead of being the same weekend as Paris.
Yeah, maybe that contributed to the dry course, but
right.
Everyone still came out muddy enough, so I think everyone's pretty happy.
And a few people went down on the course. I noticed some very muddy hips.
Yeah. There was a lot of carnage. Yeah.
Well, so what's next for you on the schedule?
I'm back to Europe tomorrow. So my wife and I are based in Croatia these days. So I'm setting up a bike touring company. So people will be hearing about that midsummer, and we're starting a small cafe. So
very cool.
And training for cross. So I'll be full on for the World Cup in Vegas and in Montreal, and on from there.
So what do you think of the World Cup coming to Montreal?
Oh, I think it's fantastic. I mean, I hope people travel from Toronto and Boston and the Northeast and the States to come up and watch. We'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Thanks.